Hello, ladies. Just Austin on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to today's video. So, guys, the 2025 elections were yesterday. And before we get to recapping most of these elections, I'll recap 4 elections. I just want to say something before I get into this video. In the recap. Democrats absolutely dominated last night. They completely dominated. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know a single race the Republicans won last night. I don't know. The Republicans got absolutely destroyed last night. That was terrible for the Republicans. I don't know what happened. Maybe the voting turnout was low. Maybe it was just the blue states. It could have been. Or it could have been cheated. I don't know. But that was bad for Republicans. That was really, really bad. Really bad. Maybe the candidates were just terrible. I don't know. But that was a bad performance by the Republicans, completely. That was an awful, awful performance by the Republicans. But we're not here. Let's get into the recap. So, guys, we'll start out with the Virginia governor election. Between Abby Spansberg and Wissam Early Sears. Spansberg won 1.2 to Wissam Early Sears 42.6. That's like an 18%. I'm not great. It's 16% percentage points. That's a blowout. Spansberg dominates. Mike Sherrill also wins, and this is the New Jersey governor race. Mike Sherrill, I got this one wrong actually. In my prediction video, I made Monday. I made my prediction video Monday, and I went 2-1. I got this one wrong. I predicted the Virginia governor race correctly. I picked New Jersey incorrectly. And Mike Sherrill wins 56.3 to Jack Carroll 43.2. Not even close, really. I mean, the Republicans destroyed last night. I don't know what happened. It wasn't even a close race. It was a blowout everywhere. And then now the election, my opinion, guys, I was most excited for. The New York City mayor race. Zohran Mamdani gets the win. I predicted him to win. I knew he was going to win, and he gets the win. And we'll start out with Crystal Suella at 7.1%. He didn't matter. I mean, you could vote for him and all, but it's like he doesn't matter. He's not winning this race, let's be honest. This race is between Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani. It was never. Chris Suella, the Republican nominee, was never in this race. Republicans in my head, no chance of taking it. Sorry, Republicans. Coming in second place, though, at 41.6%, you got the independent Andrew Cuomo, who lost to Mamdani in the primary. He loses him twice. Cuomo loses in the primary back in June, and now he loses in the general election as an independent in November to the same guy. And Mamdani gets 50.4% of the vote to get the win. And, yeah, Mamdani gets the win in New York City. And, yeah, he gets the win. I predicted this race correctly. He has a lot of awful policies that I'm probably going to make videos on later, closer to his inauguration. I think he gets inaugurated New Year's Day, which is interesting, which will be kind of exciting. But we'll talk more about his actual policies later on, now that he's actually won the election, so we'll see. But now the last election I really just want to speak on. Actually, I'm going to speak on one more election. That's not even really a president, not like a person election. What do I mean by person election? Like people running against each other. It's not that election. We'll get into that in a minute, though. The Virginia Attorney General race. Jay Jones won. This election I did not predict, but I want to recap it in the Virginia Attorney General because some people are talking about this. I just didn't make a video on it. Jay Jones, the Democrat, of course, wins 52.7. This one's a little closer, actually. And then Jason Myerzy at 46.9%. This one's the closest I've talked about, but Jay Jones, the Democrats get the win. So the Democrats swept pretty much last night. I don't know, guys. I don't know a single race the Republicans won last night. It was a bad performance. It was really a really bad performance. Something really, really needs to change. That was just an awful, terrible, terrible performance by the Republicans. It was an awful performance. Not good. Something needs to change because that was bad. Anyway, the last election I will talk about before I end off this video, it's not really a running against each other election. It's mainly about California's Proposition 50. 63.8% vote yes, 36.2% vote no. It was overwhelming. They vote yes. I believe that means this is a redistricting that Gavin Newsom's issued. I believe this means Republicans actually I think they lose like 5 House of Representative seats, that's crazy. That's bad for Republicans. That's really, really bad. We're going to make videos about that coming up pretty soon. But that's just bad. That has a huge impact on the midterms. We'll make videos about that later, though. But the main takeaway from last night's election, bad for Republicans. That was terrible. Also, guys, it's been 1 year since Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris on Election Day, since today is November 5th. Can't believe it's been a year. But anyway, going back to last night. Republicans did absolutely terrible last night. Something needs to change. That's not a good look for the midterms. That was not a good look for the midterms. Not a good look. The midterms are still technically a little over a year away, but we got a lot to fix if we want to win the midterms. That was just a bad performance, really bad performance. Republicans, you got to do better. You got to do better. That was bad, bad, bad. But anyway, guys, happy Wednesday. Have a great day. Peace out. Bye. Bye-bye. Are you halfway through your week? Republicans did really bad last night. That's the main takeaway from this election. Thanks for watching. Peace out.